So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic.
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover. With this Easter weekend upon us, there is no doubt that something indulgent and chocolate-filled will be featured on everyone's menu. And if you're looking for some inspiration, Chef Aisha is here to show us a Mama Bake Easter spotted egg cake for your dinner parties this weekend. Now, darling, you know me and my cake. I love me some cake. I have a sweet tooth. But you've given us a bit of a twist on this cake that we're making today.
So we are going to be doing, like the fleckled egg, the colors of the fleckled eggs, we're going to be using pastel shades for the buttercream, and we're also going to be making our own little flecks on our cake outside.
Perfect. So show us, what exactly do we need and how do we start?
So we are going to start with, we're going to take our butter, and how nifty is it that it's got these little 100-gram markers on there, on our margarine.
So it basically already is measured.
It does that, and I mean, it makes the job so much easier. So we are just going to actually use that as a guide and do that. That's 1, 2, so we need 175. Okay. Oh, that's nice and soft. That's 100.
And is that ideal, essentially? Because you said you...
Yes. So you want a nice, good, soft margarine that you're baking with. Okay. Because what we're going to be doing now is called creaming. Okay. So I'm just going to take that, and then with the back of a spoon, obviously if you're at home and you want to do this with a hand mixer, there's no judgment. Okay. Go ahead, but we are going to be using a wooden spoon, and I just want to show you, if we soften, I'm just going to do this so that there's no movement.
While you do that, do you want to explain to me what I've got here and what you want me to do?
So what I'm going to ask you to do in the meantime will be to start our icing that we are going to be doing. Okay. So in there we've just got some melted butter, we've got icing sugar, white chocolate, because it's a white chocolate buttercream that we are doing. And then we are going to be dyeing our butter icing with a little bit of a pastel shade of blue and white. Okay. Because we're going to get a nice pastel, nice light blue, like the color of the eggs itself.
Ah, okay, I get you. Right, awesome. So I'm mixing together the melted butter, or in essence, softened butter.
Softened butter, yes.
All right, if you don't have the time and you can't wait to obviously leave it out, you can
do it in the microwave. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Okay. Just don't let it boil and take it too far, obviously. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with heating that up in the microwave a little bit to help you along.
All right, awesome.
So I've just softened that, and we're going to be adding...
The one thing I do enjoy about Mama Bake is that it makes it so easy for you to make any of the recipes that you want to make. So it works perfectly for baking. It works perfectly for this recipe that you're making, because it's so indulgent.
It's so indulgent, so convenient, and with cooking as well. It's a very versatile product that we can use for both.
True, very true. Right, and how thick do we want our buttercream to be?
So we want it to be at a spreadable consistency. So I always say with these things, you can have a recipe, but for me, it's just eye-gauging. True. So you're going to go and you're looking at that and you would know by hand and feel, which is also one of the reasons why doing things by hand is always better, because you can see and feel and know exactly where things are exactly where you need it to be.
All right. And as you can see, South Africa, I'm adding the icing sugar a little at a time. I also don't want to put too much at a time, because it might be too thick, requiring me to thin it out, and I don't want to do that. I want to get it right from the first time.
From the first time.
So I've added my icing sugar to melted or softened butter. And it must still be thick enough to spread, but not too runny, right?
But not too runny, because you don't want, once you lay the sandwiches, and you didn't want them to do that wonderful thing that sometimes happens where they just slide off into their own direction. We want the cake to still be whole.
Okay, and Aisha, I don't know if this is too thick. Is this fine?
That's fine.
We could be adding
I think we're still adding the melted chocolate as well. So we can keep doing that.
Okay, let's
obviously, there's always ways that you can make adjustments. If your icing is too thin, add more icing sugar. Okay. So I'm not sure most people know this, but icing sugar actually contains just a little bit of corn flour. So it's a thickening agent, and you can use that. Again, if it's too thick, add milk, add cream, which is one of my personal favorite things to do in a buttercream. So I've added this is my last egg, and we add our egg one at a time, just to ensure that the product doesn't split. So we've got the butter, the sugar, and that was our last egg. Okay. Just on a nice fast beat over there. Okay. And that is all our starter ingredients. We are now going to be adding our dyes, which is our self-rising flour.
Okay, is the self-rising flour sifted or just...
It's already been sifted. You can see it's nice and fluffy. There's no lumps. Okay. Cocoa powder especially, we've got 50 grams of that. Needs to be sifted as well to give that a nice thing, because it tends to have a little bit of clumps inside the containers. Oh, here we go. That's pretty much always what happens in my kitchen as well. We're going to add add very, very slowly, not as fast as I did that. Incorporate the dry ingredients into your wet, and then we will finish off with some milk. And we've preheated our oven to 180 degrees.
Okay.
Little bit of milk, and for chocolate, people always think it's weird. Just doing that.
Add a little bit of...
Add a little bit of that. Salt.
Perfect.
Add some salt. People always think, why do you add salt into a cake? Salt brings out the flavor of absolutely everything.
I get you.
Especially with chocolate.
All right, so we're putting all of that into that baking tray,
Yes.
silicone pan right now.
Silicone pan.
We're going to bake it up.
Divide that in half.
We do have some that were already made here. I
Yes.
just want to show you South Africa. They were baked ahead of time and they've been cooled, which is something that is very important whenever you're baking or making a cake. It's important to make sure that it's fully cooled down before you start icing it, because if you don't, then all that's going to happen is this icing that we've made, this delicious icing, is just going to basically melt up all the way. Before we get into the icing of the cake, Aisha, I just want to start again with me mixing up these colors. What exactly would you like me to do? Just
So we're going to add the white first.
White
Yeah,
first?
it's fine. What the white will do is we'll bring that yellow color that the margarine gives. And we'll take that completely away and we'll just give it a neutral white color.
Okay.
And it will allow for the blue to become a nice pastel shade.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to pass over these cakes to you, and perhaps you can start icing.
I'm going to just
the cake
move this nicely
for
out of
us.
the way. You're just going to spread.
That is so spreadable. And I'm guessing that
Simple.
also comes from that mama bake that we
No,
put
it
in that
does,
makes
because
it
it's
so
nice and soft.
Correct.
And it doesn't have that strange fatty flavor that you're going to get sometimes. So nice. And again, be as generous as you want or as stingy as you want with your icing. It's completely up to you. We're just going to not do much.
Okay, because the cake is already decadent
the
in
cake
itself,
is
so you don't want it to be
extremely
too...
We just want to make sure that there's none of that holes. That's basically all we want to do. Let's mix the brown, which is just normal cocoa, about a couple of spoons in water.
Okay.
We're going to mix that together, and then I'm going to show you how we are going to do our little flakes.
Okay, perfect.
And then maybe, just so people can see the inside of our eggies, you know, just like smash a few of them open. So
Okay.
you can get some chocolate. And we've got some cute bunnies over there for Easter. Just do that.
So I think that's incorporated over there. And you just want me to smash or cut open?
Yeah, just like nice smashing as rustic
Okay.
as we can get. So we're going to keep that part that I started with at the back. And then...
Right.
Oh, there we go. We're just losing eggies.
So,
Oh, and our little colour
shares over
over
here.
there. So I've got a little paintbrush. We're just going to do that. And then we are going to hold it in your hand and then use the back and then flick the
Okay.
little colour.
So to resemble the speckling on the actual cake.
on the cake. So we can do that. You could do this. You could do, if you've got nice gold, you can do little gold flecks on your cake as well. Do that. There we go. I think we've got all the fleckies covered up. And now we are just going to do the best part. Take it and pile.
Okay.
That's it.
A little mound in the
Just a
center.
little mound all over in the center, wherever you want. I'm pretty sure the kids are going to love this one because look, just get in there. And we're going to add our little bunnies.
That looks
Little
very
festive
festive.
Easter
Very Easter.
cheer. Our cute little bunnies. We'll put one
That looks amazing,
in the
Aisha.
center. There we go.
Now,
And that was it.
that looks absolutely amazing, Aisha. Now, that's a treat to show some love with the special people in your life this Easter weekend. Let us also remember to share and spread the love to those around us who need our help. And if this spectacular cake has inspired you to do just that, then get the recipe on afternoonexpress.co.za.